Let's say you're in the midst of doing an interview or you are prepping for an interview and you're wondering, how do I win over a recruiter? It's honestly not that difficult, so let's get into it. The world of a recruiter and just hiring practices right now is nuts. There are so many people looking for so little jobs. Let's talk about how can you stand out when you're interviewing with a recruiter. So the first thing that you need to understand when you're going into an interview with a recruiter is that they are looking for your ability to communicate and connect on a personal, individualized level. They might ask you some technical information, but for the most part, they're going to be wanting to build a connection with you to make sure that you would fit the company organizational culture. They want to make sure that you have the ability to articulate yourself, and they want to make sure that you're confident in whatever role that you're applying for. So not to belabor this point too much, but the first lesson that you need to learn is that recruiters are usually looking for more social skills than they are technical skills. With that in mind, let's talk about what is the recruiter's unspoken checklist when they're interviewing a candidate. So this list of questions is something that a recruiter is going to ask you or is going to have a checklist in their head, almost like things that they might ask you directly, but most of the time it's more, are they getting this from you socially? So they want to kind of read you as an individual and check off, are you going to be a fit in this way, this way, this way? So let's talk about what is a recruiter's checklist. The first thing that they want to check is, would you be a good culture fit? This question is usually one of the first things that a recruiter will ask themselves, because if you are someone who is going to be completely adverse to the direction that the organization is going, or if you're going to be a pain in the butt when it comes to the organizational vibe, let's call it, they are going to shy away from you and they're going to look for someone who's a better fit for the organizational culture. Now, if you're interviewing and you're wondering what is the organizational culture, read through the job description. What types of words are they using most frequently? Are the words more academic? Are they more fun? Are they more sophisticated? Are they kind of innovative? What type of words or what type of vibe is the company website giving off? Are the images that they're using? Check their social media. All of these things will give you a glimpse into what is the organizational culture and what do they value. The second thing that a recruiter might be wondering is, does this candidate have proficient technical skills? Now, usually recruiters don't have the expertise to know what are your technical skills. They will just go off of your resume. So what you want to make sure to do is, when you're getting asked about your technical abilities, that you can answer confidently and say, yes, I know how to do this. And then usually they'll ask a follow-up of, how do you do this, or what's your approach? And you want to make sure that you have some unique perspective to add value into what they're doing. So if you're, let's say, interviewing for a marketing role, you want to make sure that you can say, yes, I'm a really good marketer. I understand how to do Google Ads, SEO, and social media. And what I really love about marketing is blank. I love how fast paced it is. I love how innovative it is. I love how it connects with an audience. I love how whatever that is, you want to make sure that you can articulate, yes, these are my technical abilities. And then you want to emphasize what makes you different, or what is your competitive advantage when it comes to your technical skills. Because not only do you need to know how to do your job, but you need to be able to explain, this is how I approach the work. And the third unspoken list or unspoken question that a recruiter might have is, has this candidate had significant employment issues? Are they leaving jobs really fast? Are they getting written up for PIPs? Are they having major gaps in their unemployment that they can't explain? All of these types of things are going to be red flags for recruiters when they're looking for a candidate. If they see that you have been in a very plateaued position, let's say for 10 years without a lot of upward mobility, they might be asking themselves, why has this person not moved up? Why has this person jumped from job to job every 6 months? Why has this person had a 3-year gap in their resume that they can't explain? All of these things are going to be really important when it's addressing conversations with recruiters. If you don't have any employment issues and that's not reflected in your resume, no problem. If you've seen that you do have some gaps in your resume, or you have some issues that you might need to explain, you want to make sure that you can rehearse those ahead of time before you get asked that question. For example, I have a 2-month gap on my resume from when I left a company that I believed was unethical and when I moved to a new company. And the question that I got asked when I moved to this new company is, why is there a gap in your resume? My response was, I value my own ethics, I value my own morals, and when I was working at this company, there was some very unprofessional and unethical behavior happening there, and I didn't want to be a part of it, so I left abruptly to seek a new opportunity. If you are able to articulate why there's a gap in your resume, why you might have been plateaued for a certain amount of time, why you haven't had a certain upward mobility, all of that stuff is explainable, but just know that a recruiter is going to be wondering, why has this person had employment issues? In addition to the unspoken list or unspoken questions that a recruiter might have, there are some things that you are able to do as an individual to stand out from the crowd in a really, really cool way. So here are 4 different character traits or things that you can do or express when you're interviewing that recruiters really love. The first thing is confidence. If you can come across as an expert in your field and you come across as someone who already feels like they deserve the job, a recruiter loves to see when a candidate can talk about their work in a really professional and really strong way. The second thing that you want to do is you want to be enthusiastic. Can you express how much you love the type of work you're in, the industry that you're in, the function that you're in? Can you talk about the work that you're doing and get genuinely excited about the thought of doing that with another company? If you are coming into an interview and you're just like, yeah, this company's fine, this work is fine, I don't really care, I'm indifferent, a recruiter's not going to want to hire you. But if you come in and you say, yeah, I've loved doing this ever since I was in college, this took me a couple years to get the hang of it, but now I'm really big invested in it. Or yeah, you guys do this really cool thing that I want to be a part of, super innovative, super cool. If you can come across and have at least a little bit of enthusiasm, even if you're not naturally an enthusiastic person, if you can come across and just have that I don't know, that heat, you know what I'm talking about? Of just feeling passionate about the work that you're doing, it's gonna go really far with a recruiter, and they're gonna be more likely to move you forward in the interviewing process because they see that you care about the work that you're doing. The third thing that you wanna do is be authentic. Can you come across as yourself in a way that makes you stand out from other candidates? If you come into an interview and you are just very straightforward, this is it, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, you're going to be very forgettable. Can you come into an interview and just stand out as someone that's like, I would love to work with that person? And just as an example, if you are able to look in your current place that you work at, or let's say you have been working at a place previously, if you can think, okay, who were the people that I loved working with most? That's what I'm talking about in terms of authenticity. The people who come across as being genuine and becoming themselves are the types of people that you love to work with most. And the fourth character trait that you want to impose on a recruiter is adaptability. Can you be flexible? Can you be dynamic? Whether you've made a mistake in the past and you want to just pivot really quickly to find a solution, or you've gone one direction and you're able to quickly pivot or move into another direction to accomplish something else. From a recruiter standpoint, it shows that you are coachable, it shows that you are trainable, and that you're able to accomplish more than just what you're getting hired for. Now, I'm not saying that if you interview for one job, you should be expected to do all of these other things, but if you can somehow explain your ability to be adaptable across the spectrum, it's really helpful for a recruiter to say, oh, this person's going to be good in this situation, they're going to be good in this situation, they're going to be good in this situation. So if you're able to explain your adaptability, it goes really far. And by understanding what recruiters are looking for, you're able to stand out in that pool of applicants. And if you're interviewing with recruiters, you might be wondering, what are some red flags that I need to watch out for when it comes to companies? If you're wondering that, check out this video. And until then, I will see you on the next one.